No mai haere mai, I'm Mason Herbert. Welcome to Metro News on Kōkako. More than $250,000 has been raised for a woman whose 3 children were found dead following a Manawatu house fire. The bodies of the 3 children and their father were found in the wreckage of a house in Sanson over the weekend. At this stage, police are not seeking anyone else involved in the incident. The investigation into the death is ongoing. A $123 million plan to relocate a West Coast highway has been allocated $7 million by Associate Transport Minister James Meagher. State Highway 6 has proven problematic since 2012 when a major slip left the road overhanging a cliff above the sea. Meagher says it will benefit the tourism sector. Coffee and eggs for breakfast are becoming more of a luxury as annual food prices increase once again. Stats NZ figures show a 4.7% increase in the 12 months to October, with eggs, instant coffee and cheese among the biggest price hikes. Consumer NZ Chief Executive John Duffy pinpoints it to the supermarket duopoly. A vote on whether to release the controversial Epstein files could come as soon as tomorrow. The US House of Representatives will decide whether to release investigative files related to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. It comes after President Trump dropped his long-standing opposition on Sunday evening, saying on social media he had nothing to hide. 11 of the 12 teams are confirmed for the new Rugby Nations Cup kicking off in July next year. The Cup will provide another competitive rugby opportunity leading up to the Men's Rugby World Cup in Australia. World Rugby Chair Brett Robinson says the Cup will provide a strong platform for teams to grow through more competition and commercial revenue. The All Blacks will host France, Ireland and Italy in the Cup.
Mason, this afternoon on Metro News.
Canterbury University applications are expected to be higher than ever. Students are already finding the accommodation hunt hard.
The Littleton community is banding together to stop boy racing.
And we take a look behind the glitz and glamour of bodybuilding. What do their bodies really go through?
Tēnā koutou e tēnei ahi no mai haere mai. Welcome to Metro News. Ko Izzy Ingalls tēnei.
Ko Imogen Brophy tēnei. Christchurch students are finding the flat hunt tougher than ever, with the university applications predicted to be higher than ever next year. Michaela Lemon reports.
Exams make this time of year stressful enough for students, but it's even more difficult for those on the hunt for a place to call home for next year. Lucy Morrison is a second-year nursing student at Ara, and among many who have struggled to find a flat.
We wanted to find a nice flat, and then when we started looking, we realised how fast we were actually coming into moving out of a flat, so that was quite stressful.
Being a busy nursing student, Lucy found it tricky arranging flat viewings around her study.
I would say when we were really stressed, we'd go to about 5 a week, but then not all of us could make the time, so that kind of made it hard.
Ara students aren't the only ones feeling the housing heat. University of Canterbury students are too.
Flatting was definitely a struggle.
Yeah.
It was very stressful. We went to at least 7 or 8 viewings.
Living at home, luckily, not flatting, it's too expensive.
Yeah, we pretty much would view a lot of flats, maybe at least 5 a day.
The university is also unable to cater for the growing demand from new students for its first year halls. At least 1,300 will miss out next year. UC are aware of the issue. They sent Metro News this statement.
The University of Canterbury continues to plan ahead to ensure there is sufficient high-quality accommodation for our students. Alongside the construction of our new 283-bed hall, Tupuarangi, opening in 2026, we are exploring future on-campus developments to meet growing demand.
Other moves are underway. Christchurch Mayor Phil Major is exploring options to improve transport for students.
Christchurch Company has developed a thing called Whoosh. Now, Whoosh is like a gondola, but it travels along at the rope by itself. The rope doesn't move. Going from the uni at the moment into Riverside, for example, plus stopping at other places, is only 8 minutes.
Any improvements can't come soon enough for a growing city with a student population of around 60,000 and expected to grow. Michaela Lemon, Metro News.
Boy racers are taking over the quaint portside town of Littleton. Our reporter Alexandra Bogdanova has been talking to some locals who decided to take a stand against the growing number of drag racing events in the area. And she joins us now. Kia ora, Alex. Tell us what's happening in Littleton.
The issue of boy racing has plagued the town of Littleton for almost 2 decades now, despite the town itself not being built for the groves of souped-up vehicles. Now, locals have decided to take matters into their own hands.
A term that's exploded in popularity in Ototahi. They can be found in cars with modified exhaust and racing-style decals, frequenting the inner city and occasionally the small port town of Littleton.
You'll get these cars coming past with their modified exhausts making a lot of noise, and speeding is a problem. And that's been happening for 20 years and seemingly nothing's been done. And so it was time to go, well, enough is enough, let's do it.
Former Littleton councillor hopeful Dave Dunley campaigned on a promise to resolve issues related to boy racing, regardless of his election. He says as the culture grew, so did complaints about dangerous drag racing and roaring engines. Littleton local Lola reflects on living in the danger zone.
There was one time where I was overtaken at the start of the hill, and then by the time I got to the other end of the mountain, they had crashed.
Dunley proposed using portable CCTV cameras around the bays, a technique that helped dispel boy racers from the Belfast area in 2024. And residents rallied behind the idea, including Banks Peninsula MP Vanessa Wienick.
I'm really interested to hear back from young people and hear what they've got to say about what's happening with the law changes, because as we know, it does tend to be those younger people who would be impacted.
Dunley says they are nearing their $5,000 target, which allows a 2-month trial period with the cameras, progress that Dunley ensures will help Littleton residents have quieter and more sleepful nights.
It's interesting to see something being done at such a local level, Alex, but is anything being done about this racing at a national level?
Well, yes, actually. Parliament's been trying to tackle and regulate boy racing for a number of years now, with the most recent iteration being the Anti-Social Road Use Bill, which is an amendment to the Land Transport Act of 1999. The bill, introduced in May, is looking to regulate and uphold antisocial behavior in small towns such as Littleton itself, giving more power to the police to give out penalties and forfeit vehicles.
Is there anywhere else for them to go, like a controlled environment to limit these community disruptions?
Dave Dunley and local MP Vanessa Wienick are keen to get behind the idea, but currently there are no alternatives. Other communities such as Horswell and Selwyn have tried something like this in the past, but it never got popular enough to pick up real traction. Vanessa Wienick says she's not trying to be a joy kill, but right now their priorities do lie with the safety and comfortability of Littleton residents.
Thanks, Alex.
More than $250,000 has been raised for a woman who lost her 3 children following a Manawatu house fire on Saturday. Police are still investigating the circumstances surrounding the deaths. A man's body also found in the house wasn't burned in the fire. A Give a Little page titled A Mother's Worst Nightmare was set up on Sunday. Creator of the page and close friend to the woman, Danny Hewlett, thanked the nation for the immediate outpouring of generosity. She said while no amount of money will heal the woman's loss, it will allow her to rebuild her life.
Greyhounds are known for their speed, but they also make great pets. Once retired, the company Greyhounds as Pets helps them find a new home. Aston Palmer has more.
They may look lazy, but these greyhounds were once race dogs. Now they're retired and rehomed with the help of the organisation Greyhounds as Pets, also known as GAP. GAP have rehomed more than 3,400 hounds in the past 10 years and don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Lisa Phillip, GAP manager.
It's just seeing how they changed people's lives for the good and how the dogs just settle into a family, you know when you've got it right.
The goal for Greyhounds as Pets is to rehome all retired racing hounds. They have been doing this since 2006. They've got a team of rehoming agents around the country who help greyhounds get new families. There are also a number of volunteers who help out at events and with walking dogs. With greyhound racing coming to a close at the end of July next year, greyhounds as pets believe that this change will not affect them. However, they are unsure what will happen when all the dogs have been adopted. Metro News talked to some families who recently got a new furry friend.
We weren't quite ready. I guess we weren't planning on getting her as soon as we did, but we set up a meet and greet because we were sort of thinking about it, and then we met her and we had to have her. We just fell in love.
Kind of classify as aggressively friendly. So when he gets near other dogs, he kind of towers over them and really wants to know and play, do all that stuff.
You can find all the information you need to adopt a greyhound on Greyhounds as Pets website. Aston Palmer, Metro News.
A muri I ngā whakatairanga coming up on Metro News.
We talk to Kiwi women about the trials and tribulations of bodybuilding.
And what are the risks behind cryptocurrency? How can you invest safely?
Kawe e hare ki waheke, stay with us.
Hoki mai anō, welcome back.
It's an industry that celebrates strength and dedication, but behind the sculpted physiques and stage lights, bodybuilding can take a serious toll on the body.
Two Kiwi women are opening up about the realities of competing at such an extreme level and how they balance between ambition and health. Madeline Mansfield has the story.
It's a sport that pushes the human body to extremes. But behind the glamour of competitive bodybuilding is a demanding lifestyle that can come at a cost. For Abigail McLean, bodybuilding isn't just about the looks.
A lot of people say that bodybuilding is akin to basically an eating disorder. I find the opposite. The longer I've been doing bodybuilding, the more important I see that food is for fuel and for function.
The 21-year-old is preparing for her second competition. This involves more than 20 hours in the gym each week, balancing intense physical demands with the realities of being a female athlete.
With bodybuilding, you're supposed to go against absolutely everything your body wants to do, so we have to strip as much body fat as we possibly can. It's not great for the hormones.
In spite of her extreme fitness, bodybuilding coach and competitor Tiana Patterson has also had to overcome serious health issues.
What happened was last year, 2 days after my show, I ended up in hospital for 10 or 13 days, and I ended up getting diagnosed with pancreatitis and gallstones, which eventuated into me having to lose my gallbladder.
Now Tiana's using her experience to better prepare herself and the athletes she coaches for the stage this year.
I care more about my health than I do about competing. If you do not think that I can go to stage in a healthy way, then let's just not do it.
Doctors are also urging caution. The sport's high demands and use of performance enhancers by some can take a toll.
Have had an historical reputation of athletes misusing a group of drugs we call anabolic, which means bodybuilding, androgenic, masculinizing steroids.
Where are they getting them?
You can go online and obtain anabolic steroids and receive them as you can many other things. I heard that you can obtain anabolic steroids through Temu.
Both Abigail and Tiana don't use steroids themselves, but have their own opinions on the topic.
I don't plan on doing that myself anytime soon. I don't feel the need to.
Should be trying to get to your peak physique naturally before you even look at enhancers.
For women like Abigail and Tiana, competing can be very rewarding. But the real strength lies in listening to their bodies and knowing just how far they can push. Madeline Mansfield, Metro News.
The Swedish furniture giant IKEA is taking over Christchurch's Cathedral Square ahead of its grand opening in Auckland. Ruben Smith went window shopping.
New Zealand's newest big brand furniture store is coming to Christchurch for a limited time. It's to give South Islanders a preview of what you can get your hands on when the country's first IKEA opens in a little over 2 weeks. Sadly, that's in Auckland, but there's plenty of local enthusiasm.
I'm still feeling gutted that we don't have a physical store in Christchurch, but I mean, the shipping is going to be fine. So I guess it's going to be a lot of online shopping.
I'm going to buy the chair that's in the corner there. No, I'll easily become a consumer again, I think.
Do you have any IKEA stuff at the moment then?
Not yet. Waiting for the big opening.
The pop-up that started today will remain open until December the 10th. It's window shopping only though, with out-of-Aucklanders only able to buy the products online after launch day. The famous yellow and blue store will be opening on December the 4th in Auckland's Sylvia Park, right in time for the Christmas boom. The store will be jam-packed with 7,500 products, including the trademark flat-pack furniture sets, fully styled kitchens and a 426-seat Swedish restaurant. So get excited, New Zealand, to get your blåsvardigs, brödväxt, or even a svartpoppel. Ruben Smith, Metro News.
New data released from the Department of Conservation shows more than 900 of its iconic green and yellow signs have been damaged, so much so that they can't be read or understood. Last year, the department spent $350,000 on signage and have had to bump up that budget to $500,000. Docs Assets Manager Kushla Tepa says she's disappointed in the way people are treating our environment. Anyone who comes across damage should report it to their local dock office immediately.
Cryptocurrency is rising in popularity in Aotearoa, but risks and lack of knowledge can put people off. Should you be investing in crypto? Imogen Brophy reports.
$1 to $1 million in a few years. Sounds appealing. This has tempted 67,000 Kiwis to invest in cryptocurrency, according to Stats NZ. While this is only 3.4% of the population, for some, like on-chain education co-founder Cody Dobson Sinclair, cryptocurrency is the way of the future.
It works similarly to obviously like equities, stocks and all that stuff that everyone is sort of familiar with. So you always go through a brokerage first to buy your crypto, turning your fiat into crypto. And then from there you can onboard that to your wallet, exchanges to then go trade, hold it in wallets or anything like that.
His business aims to practically educate Kiwis to join the market as crypto usage increases.
We're trying to fill the gap between early adopters and the early majority, trying to get people within the mainstream to adopt it slowly and incorporate that in their, whether it be investing portfolio or just their means of life.
Economist Brad Olson says the possibility to make money fast is enticing.
Everyone remembers the good cryptos that went well. You know, again, if you were smart enough to buy a Bitcoin when it was worth a couple of dollars, you'd be pretty rich right now.
However, he says the variety of coins, such as fart coins and meme coins, can make it hard to predict what will take off. He says for those looking at investing, like shares, it is important to do your homework.
Yes, might be an opportunity to make some money. It's a pretty good opportunity to lose it all as well. So do your homework and figure out where your risk tolerance is.
Imogen Brophy, Metro News. Looking at today's weather. It's cloudy today in Ōtautahi with strong northerlies in the afternoon. Your high is 26.
Thank you for joining us on Metro News this afternoon.
For all those stories and more, head over to metronews.co.nz or check us out on Metro News NZ on Instagram.
And up next after the break is Elevate Her Game, where we talk to the founder of Curator Archive, Mackenzie Scott, about starting a small business. Ko Izzy Ingalls tēnei.
Ko Imogen Brophy tēnei. Mā te wā.